Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. How are you guys? How are you doing? So, another week in the markets. Today we will go not only what I'm going to expect today, but also for the next week and weeks. So we'll go through that. But first, I will ask you in the chat, what is your bias for today? What is your bias? Let's see what news event we have today. Today we have no news, no red folder news, but later in the week, on Wednesday, we will have CPI. On Thursday, we'll have unemployment claims. And on Friday, we also have red folder news. So that's good to know. But yeah, as you can see, I have the weekly chart open here on NASDAQ. And I will pull up also, yes, I will pull up also the chart on ES and YM. And as you can see, and as we already saw last week, NQ was much, much stronger than ES and YM was the weakest one. And last week on Friday, I already anticipated that we will drop below this low right here, but we didn't. And now we opened up with a huge gap lower on all the indices, and we took out those two relative equal lows. So it seems like NQ is catching up to the bearish trend of ES and YM, so that's good. So we could actually see for the next weeks and even months to have a trend to the downside again, because we were consolidating the last weeks up here. So it wouldn't surprise me if we drop, let's say, let's see, if we drop heavily in the next few weeks and months. So yeah, but I'm actually probably not going to trade London session like I said last week, because of the time shift we had on the weekend. But maybe I'm going to trade PM session, and maybe I'm going to live stream there as well. I'll let you guys know on Instagram, as you know. But yeah, you have to always remember to see the bigger picture, and that's the weekly chart, and a retracement down to at least 50% of this whole move to the upside is very, very reasonable. But yeah, if you want to see a market analysis also of somebody who is very respected in the space, first of all, of course, ICT. You know, I love ICT. I learned everything from ICT. I watched one live stream he did yesterday, so you could watch that to be prepared what is potentially happening the next few weeks and months. and also of 369 Frank. You know, I like him as well. These are the two people I really respect in the trading space. But yeah, let's get into the daily analysis and what I'm going to expect today, or what I'm looking for today. So let's see. Let's go to the daily time frame. So as you guys can see, we opened up with a approximately 200 points gap lower, new week opening gap. And what I'm noting today is the quadrant levels of the new week opening gap. So these are very, very important. If you look on the lower time frame, like on the 5-minute time frame that I'm on right now, you can see we dropped lower in the Asia session and then reversed to the upside. And now we see that we really, really respect the first quadrant level of the new week opening gap. So that is very, very beautiful to see and could be a signature that we will go even further to the downside. But I could also see us potentially go even a little bit higher before we drop again, and maybe even today on Monday that we go higher and then for the rest of the week we drop lower. But let's see. This is why I really have the levels of the new week opening gap on my chart. I'm not always having the quadrant levels of the new week opening gap on my chart, but whenever they are pretty big, then I will have all of them on my chart. And this is very telling of how the market is going to move when you see the reaction we have off of these levels. So I prefer to take shorts actually for the next few weeks and for whenever we see huge moves to the downside, but we'll have to see how the market is going to react. I think in 2025, it was in February, I think, or in March, that we also had a huge drop to the downside. Let's see if we go to the weekly chart. I think that was, we have to go to the monthly. Yeah, that was 2025 in February and March. We had a huge drop to the downside, and I can remember when I was trading that price action, you had to be very, very quick to enter trades to the downside. Either go and enter quick or you'll be left out. So it could be the case that we will see something like this again. So maybe for you guys, just look at the price action, backtest a little bit the price action of February and March and also April of last year, so that you are prepared of what's potentially coming next. But yeah, we still have to manage every single day on its own. But it could be the case that after we have the time shift here in Europe as well at the end of March, that I'm trading London again. Let's see. I'm keeping you up to date. But yeah, today I really don't want to be too biased, to be honest. I really want to see how Monday is going to be like, because that is often very telling on what's going to happen for the rest of the week. And also, since we have Monday without red folder news, I'm not too zealous of taking any trades today, but we'll see. Yeah, and guys, if you have questions, you can always ask me in the chat. I'm sorry that yesterday there was not a YouTube video on this channel. I will probably do 2 videos this week. And yeah, I'm also planning the mentorship in the background, but I'm not going to be sure when this is going to drop. Maybe I'll do it like ICT with his core content when he was just doing live streams every month and doing my like something like this, that I'm going to do every single month videos that I will add to the mentorship. But you'll see all of this when it's going to happen. I'll keep you up to date. But yeah, also have in mind that we have a gap higher, a opening range gap higher today when we open up. When we see right here, yeah, we are on the regular trading hours. We closed Friday at 24,658, and when we go to the electronic trading hours, 658, yeah, that's up here, so we'll have a gap higher. Could be the case that we trade up a little bit and then drop lower, but as I said, today I'm not too biased. I'm pretty much open to what the market is showing me today, so that I can look what the rest of the week will do based off of that. But yeah, we'll see, especially what's all the things that are going on in the world right now. All the wars and stuff would be pretty much matching to what we see in the markets right now, that on the higher time frame we could see a rollover to the downside. Yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it, what I have for today. Let me see if I have anything else. Oh yeah, I can show you this one. I always do an analysis also on the 20-minute time frame. I'll go much more into depth in future videos what I look for when I analyze the 20-minute time frame, and also why I have specifically all of these. Oh yeah, you can see it, but I have specific time frames I look for to analyze the markets, and the 20-minute time frame is one of them. And note the low at 720 today, and look and pay very much attention to that low today. And if we displace it to the downside on the 20-minute time frame, then we could see potentially lower price action. But yeah, do you have any questions, guys? Do you have questions? I will probably end the stream in like 5 to 10 minutes. Going to be with you here a little bit longer. But yeah, also guys, I'm planning on doing more videos on also what I backtested for the last 3 months. You guys know I backtested a lot. But yeah, you can give me also ideas on what you're struggling with and what I should show you that you should backtest. Like I told you today, that when we have situations like this, then it's good to backtest similar situations we had in the past, like last year February and March. But there's so many things I can show you on what to backtest. Let me know. I'm always open. And if you text me on Telegram, it's more likely that I will respond to your message than on Instagram. I very rarely respond to messages on Instagram, most of the time on Telegram. And I'm not always answering, but sometimes I'm answering if you ask me questions where I can give you a good answer to. Do you look for gaps today? What do you mean exactly? I will look for one gap, and that is the new week opening gap. How we respond at the new week opening gap. So, yeah. Are you using TradeSeller? Yes, I use TradeSeller. I use TradeSeller for all the backtesting I do. I also use TradeSeller for journaling. So I have still my private journal, as you saw in my YouTube video that I made on how I journal. But I have my broker connected on TradeSeller so that I can see directly what profits I did on the day. And yeah. So is there anything else you want to know, guys? But you guys, I'm so hyped for the next months. So hyped. And you look like at the one at last week gap or the new day opening gaps from last week, or do you look for levels we have been 1 to 2 months before the entries or TPs? I always have new week opening gaps and new day opening gaps of the past 5 weeks and past 5 days on my chart. This is my main chart that I have open when I trade. And as you see, all the green boxes are new week opening gaps. As you see right here, like this is this week's new week opening gap, this is the last week's new week opening gap, and so on. And I also do the same with the new day opening gaps. Always the past 5 I have on my chart. The chart, the price action is really respecting to those levels, and if you take trades off of these key levels, off of the new week opening gaps and new day opening gaps, it's very high probability if you have the right bias. You trade micros or minis. At the moment, I trade micros because I can better readjust what I want to risk. I really like the micros, but the minis are much more precise. So yeah, the price action on the mini. And I also recommend you to always do your analysis on the mini, never ever on the micro. So Yeah. So, but yeah, other than that, if there are not any more questions, I will leave the live stream. How do you control your emotion after open position? Just stick to your plan. You gotta have a plan. You gotta have a system where you exactly know what to do after you enter a position. And if you don't have that defined, then of course you will get emotional. And yeah, so it's important to always know when are you going to trail your stop loss to break even, and where are you going to take partials, what is your drawn liquidity, and stuff like that. And if you trade on the lower time frames, it is very good to control your emotions and to see the bigger picture when you go on a higher time frame and see what's going on there. Because for me, for my example, I trade on the 15 seconds charts, and you can have a very how do I say it? You can be very emotional if you see moves on the 15-second chart, and you tend to get out of the trade even quicker if you're on the 15 seconds chart rather than when you are on a 5-minute time frame, for example. So switch to a higher time frame as soon as you are in a trade, or at least have a second chart open where you see the higher time frame as well. So this is good to regulate your emotions and to really see what the market is actually doing. But also, if you're in the position, you know that you can also, if you go here on the, where is it? If you go here to settings, you have, when you go to trading here, you can actually change the money sign to ticks or percentage. So you know, when you go into the trade, you always see the amount of dollars you are in profit or in drawdown. And if you change that to ticks or percentage, you tend to be more performance based, so how your trade is actually performing, instead of money based. Instead of focusing on the money, you start to focus more on the trade itself. So this is what helps me. I always have it in ticks and never in money. Yeah. How to confirm that this level would respect more likely new week opening gap, new day opening gap, or first presented FVG? Well, the most respected levels are for sure the opening of the new week opening gap. So this is always a level I have on my chart here in big fat red, because this is a very highly respected level. And I would say the next most respected levels are the new day opening gaps and then the first presented FVGs. Yeah, but they're still all going to get respected heavily if you are, like I said, on the right bias. Can you explain your 15-second chart entry of your previous 1 to 2 trades? Yeah, we'll go more in depth on my strategy and how I see the markets with my new strategy in the next videos in my mentorship. But I can do a trade breakdown whenever I have a trade, so I could do that video, yes. in the next week, whenever I have a trade and I post it in the Telegram channel, I can give you a more in-depth breakdown. I can do that, yes. But yeah, I'm going to call my brother now, because as you guys know, I'm always trading together with my brother. And I wish you all a good start into the next into this trading week. Have good profits. Stick to your strategy. Stick to your plan. Don't overtrade. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow at the same time in this live stream. So yeah, God bless you. Bye bye.